Okay, we are live. And so, hi everyone. I'm Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot. Very happy to be here today. I have Patty Greer with me, and we're going to be talking about C60 Evo, which is a wonderful product. And then she has some other things she wants to cover related. Yeah, there's the bottle. And I take this every day. So I think it's great. And all right, so hold on one second. I think we're good. There's no way to check it. Okay, we're just gonna hope for the best. And I'm making sure we're recording. Okay. All right, go ahead, Patty.
Well, thank you. I also take it every day, and I'm acting like this is heavy because I'm not used to glass bottles. As of this week, we are finally shipping in glass bottles our oils, which I think is an upgrade, but the oil itself is just so dang potent that it saved my life 2 or 3 times. And that's why I'm a co-owner of the company and promoting it. It has shown me absolutely incredible results. And last month was another example. I call it the climate change flu that a lot of people are tolerating. And there's so many reasons that we are all being, I'm going to just say it out loud, poisoned on so many elements because we've been run by idiots for way too long, at least 12 years that we can easily record, where we've just had people in charge that hate humanity. And what they're doing is just stunning. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But also the remedies, because it's not about whining, it's about surviving with grace and strength. And you, my God, what you've lived through. You've interviewed all kinds of crazies, and so have I, making all those UFO movies. And we made it. Here we are, in 2026. To me, knock on wood, I'm just happy to be alive every day. And I don't know if you feel that way, but boy, I've seen enough to scare me back to never doing that again. But I love that I turned out surviving because I was taking this product. And it's a miracle molecule that won the Nobel Prize for a reason. And my partners own the lab that's been making it 34 years, which is 5 years longer than when it received the Nobel Prize. We were making it already 5 years. So, pretty sure that the scientists that received the Nobel Prize in Science for C60 probably bought it down the street in Houston from our lab, but my partners were in college at the time. They can't say, yeah, those scientists came and they bought it from us. So they may have bought it from China or Russia that's no longer making it, but my guess is it probably came from down the road in Houston. And pretty much every peer-reviewed test that's been done on this molecule has come from our lab because we're the only lab making what we call the good stuff, which is ESS60, made for people and pets, whereas most of the online C60 is from China and it's industrial grade, which we only sell for tires, ink, batteries, and photocells to research institutions around the world, but we will not sell it, even if they offer a lot of money, to people that are going to put it in oil and trick people with industrial grade. It's just not known to be safe. So what we're doing is something that nobody else is doing in the world is making elemental safe spheres with 60 carbon atoms. That's the ESS. And the word is safe that matters for people and pets. And why does it matter so much? I'm going to share my screen and talk about this really interesting thing we've gone through in the last few years, which is the poisoning of humanity. Pretty much head to toe, they've been occupying us with things that really don't benefit humans. And so there's been what I call a war against our body, mind, and spirit. And we're all distracted with all the wars going on. Needless to say, we should be conscious of what's going on in the world. But we're also forgetting that every day that our neighbors are sick or our family is sick, or God forbid, we're suffering, it's because we are being dosed daily with the climate change clouds. And I just did a show with Penny Kelly. She's in Michigan and said they only see climate change clouds, which are chemtrails, a few times a week or a month. But in Colorado, it's daily, hourly. We are being bombarded because um, our governor just joined the WHO, even though the rest of America
Oh,
got rid of
no.
it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Polis,
How insane.
yeah. When we get through this presentation, I do present his bad choices because I live here, I tolerate it. And as you can see, these trails that are behind this image right here are something I just took a photo of outside my front door. So these climate change clouds are daily, and it's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're coming out of the rear end of airplanes that have special nozzles. Plus, they have a switch up front to hit on the chemtrails. So you'll see, they fly over Boulder, Colorado, and then all of a sudden they hit it on, and the stripes remain. Then they build, then they drip, and people are like, oh, that's just condensation. Well, no, it's not. The condensation trails dissipate quickly. The chemtrails stay up, spread out, and then some of them drip, as you can see in the middle, right above the VS. You can see the drip pretty clearly. So the climate change clouds are absolutely horrible, and we know enough about it that we really should be stopping it, but it hasn't stopped yet. Then we've got the smart meters on our homes, and I was the last one in my little town, and they sent me a text and they said, we know you're adamantly opposed. That's why we saved you for last, but we're coming today. We're sticking one on the side of your house. And,
Oh, no.
it's China. China gave them all the workings for the smart meters, and you know how much they love us. They don't. So these smart meters are another enemy of humanity, but they give the electric companies permission to charge us whatever they want because they read the meters, these smart meters, because we're not smart enough to take them off, or we're not allowed to anymore. So I bought what's called a sign tamer the day after they stuck it on my house, and I realized, crap, I'm stuck with this. I spent $1,800 to get a machine to minimize the bad frequencies that are coming into the house from these meters, proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. And the next one is the cell towers, which are everywhere, pretty much in most of the major cities where you've got a governor who hates you. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I think we're really seeing the difference with people that care. Some states, they're not allowing the dumping from the sky or the massive amount of cell towers. I moved to this beautiful little town near Boulder, Colorado. There weren't any cell towers. 2 years in, we lost. We lost the war against China. And now we've got 29 cell towers up this beautiful canyon from Boulder to
Oh,
Estes Park, which is Rocky Mountain National Park. And I try not to take the canyon anymore because I can't stand the cell towers. But the other day, I got in my car. I just needed to go drive and floor it for a few minutes. Sometimes you just got to get it out that way. And sure enough, I ended up coming back through Estes, and the only way down was through the canyon. And 28 times, I was like yelling, God dang you, China, take your stuff back. And by the time I got down to the house, I was like exhausted from being pissed at 28 cell towers that we can't get rid of yet.
wow.
And I know because I have friends that came over last Sunday to measure the frequencies in my home because they stuck one a quarter mile away. And they said, I'm sorry to say, your houses get bombarded with that tower. And of course, the towers are also controlled, where if they don't like you, they can do special things to your home or your direction. You know all these things, and your audience is well aware. But they're doing it to wonderful little towns that no longer are wonderful.
That's really sad to hear. I've been over there in Boulder and the surrounding area, and very beautiful and very sad to hear that they are so inundated and that your governor has no sense of intelligence or pride or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I
It's
thought one day I might end up, moving to Colorado, but not under these circumstances. He's worse than California.
They're all about the same with Tim Waltz and, Gretchen Whitmer, the Witchmer. We've just got a bunch of bad eggs that need to be removed. And I think that we are in the process of that because people are waking up thanks to shows like yours. and so many other shows that are just bringing the goods. And we don't hold back anymore because there's not time to waste. The fluoride in the water is another one. My God, how stupid. Thank you, Rockefeller and your friends, but they have brought some really bad ideas, but we've got the consciousness to take it out of the water system. I did go to a dentist yesterday, really good one, I thought, and I asked them, do you do fluoride treatment still? Or, in my brain, I'm going, or are you wise enough not to? Oh, yes, we offer them and blah, blah, blah. I just said, please stop. I don't want to hear about it. And in my brain, I'm going, I don't want to call you an idiot, but just stop talking. I don't want to hear about
Wow,
fluoride. Oh,
that's
yeah, we recommend it.
insane.
It's like, and it's in the water. I mean, we can't help it, but we can, buy a filter and fight that too. But I
Right.
think the worst one, and I will warn you, I'm about to throw food across my house because this is how I talk about what they've done to our food, the glyphosate or glyphosate, whatever you want to call it. My kids and grandkids absolutely love these organic version of Ritz. I don't know if you tried them. I won't say what store, but you can see what it is. Organic, delicious, buttery crackers. And then I see online that they're one of the highest in glyphosate, 474
Oh
units of
my.
glyphosate. I threw away 4 boxes. This is the fifth. I just use it for shows. And it's probably dust by now because I throw it every show. But then there's my favorite thin sliced organic natural bread. I won't say the name because I don't want to get busted, but
Oh
you can
wow.
see it right there. A lot of people like it, including my family. And I pulled it out of my daughter's fridge yesterday and I said, well, glyphosate in that also. So it hit the floor. But my biggest disappointment was my organic eggs. Now I have a farm down the road that I went to. Now that I know that it was purchased, this is the most beautiful box, and I used to trust it. Vital Farms, pasture raised, organic, tended by hand from farmers who care. The label is so lovely, but they sold the company and they
Oh
sold it to
no.
BlackRock, Vanguard, and Bezos. I didn't know they were buying up food companies to destroy them, but now these
Oh,
pasture raised, love by hand, are rolled around in a cart in a field. No sun, no field. They're in a cart that's moved around the
oh
field
no.
so they can, oh God. And I did see another one, which I didn't share the screen of, but this is the presentation that almost all the bubbly waters are full of unbelievable things. And the one pair, EA, happens to be one of the worst. The forever chemicals and just unbelievable. And we just need to clean the systems up. And when they say, oh, conspiracy theory, it's like, oh, not. This has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that stratospheric aerosol injections, you can call it what you want, but a lot of people, like people that I used to trust, they say, Patty, condensation. It's like, well, condensation melts and leaves. These things don't. They expand and grow. And the problem is you got widespread acute physical ailments, the migraines, the nausea, the itchy eyes, the chronic fatigue, your joints and muscles hurt, but then you've got the psychological distress also from aluminum, barium, strontium, lithium, and smart dust. Oh, that term smart has got to go because it really is the opposite of what they're delivering. And people are enjoying anxiety, depression, rage and anger, stress, and total helplessness because they're sick all the time. And I will admit that I started taking photos outside my house, which you'll see shortly. And I knew that I needed to stop sunning that morning because the chemtrails were so bad. But because I live in Boulder, I wanted to mention that 5 days before the Saturday, March 14th, or whatever day it was, but 5 days earlier, they started, the electric company warns Boulder they're going to shut off the power, likely Saturday, amid extreme wind and wildfire danger. It's going to happen at 2 p.m. Okay, let's make an appointment to make it windy at 2 p.m. because our weather is so modified here. This went on for 6 days. Now, you got to be an idiot to realize that 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, they anticipated that around 2 p.m. on March 14th, it was going to get so windy that it was going to be like serious fire threat. So, of course, I'm sitting out on my deck in the morning and there was no wind on the 14th, and there just wasn't. And at about 1:30, it was kind of like I really love my car from 0 to 60 in a few seconds makes me very happy. But when it's wind and they hit on a machine, probably it went
Insane.
from 0 to 60 right around 2 o'clock. Wind
Incredible.
was unbelievable. And sure enough, I don't know how they knew, must be cosmic or intuitive. That electric company shut down millions of people from having electricity, which they would need to run things if, God forbid, there was a fire in their neighborhood. Like open the garage door would be nice if they couldn't reach the pole, short people like me. But anyway, it was impressive. And then this was the cloud when it went from 0 to 60. I
Wow.
went out the front door and I was like, whoa, I'm not going to get hit by a branch. And I could see there were branches down on the side of my house, huge branches from 30, 40 foot up tree. I don't know how they didn't hit the house, but I had my handyman for hours with his chainsaw carving up a whole winter full of firewood that used to be my trees. So this was the cloud appearance, which is kind of interesting. You look at that and think, that doesn't look very normal. And there's a little bit of rainbow there.
Bizarre.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm out there taking photos all the time. This was, a Monday, typical Colorado. And when people
Same.
can't see that this is not natural, I kind of give up. It's not like I want to convince people anymore. You either want to know or you don't. But
Sure.
this is typical Boulder, Colorado. And when you see the X's where they crisscross, needless to say, they're probably marking coordinates. But you also have to think those planes were flying so close. Were they playing chicken? LOL. Guess not. And then when you see this, now what does that look like to you?
A frequency weapon.
HARP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when they hit on the HARP array, you're going to see this. Instead of just the lines, it turns into this. And boy,
Right.
was it a bad day when I saw that. I'm sitting out on my deck. I took the photo and I went right back in the house. I was like, this is just not good. But this was the
Got it.
day that made me sick. I saw the harp array then turned into stripes, lots of stripes, like waves in the ocean that aren't natural. And here's a closer version. But needless to say, I didn't go in soon enough because I got sick. And I haven't been sick in 6 or 7 years because I take C60 Evo every day. My immunity's bouncing, but it got me. And it was so bad what happened. And I was sitting outside looking at the clouds going, yeah, I better go inside. I had a split in my lip and a split on the top of the skin on my nose. Like, what? Like a directed something, which I won't repeat, but my lip stayed split open for 3 weeks, which I have never had until I put tallow on my lip and it cured overnight. So I found a lot of new remedies, which I do want to suggest because we're going to be dealing with this for a while. This is another bad day, but again, you've got to look at this and say to anybody that says condensation, wake the F up. Like that is just stupid. It's dripping chemicals onto humanity and nature and wildlife and all the trees, and it's killing the roots. And that's why we're hearing so many trees are blowing over in the orchestrated wind because the
Yes.
the climate change clouds are poisoning the roots, which holds the tree up. Boulder, Colorado, every day we're just bombarded. And then by afternoon, it looks pretty outside now. I might go for a walk this afternoon, hoping it's already hit the ground. But when people say, why are you so intense about shoes off? It's like, keep them on, just don't come in. And it's not because you stepped in dog poo or pee. It's because I don't want the chemtrail smart dust in my house. Leave your shoes outside
Wow.
and come on in. Look at this. I mean, some people are like, oh, what a pretty rainbow. What does that look like to you, Carrie?
Yeah, harp and some kind of when they have earthquakes and storms, we also have that coloration. in the sky. I guess you know that, right?
Oh, yeah. It's, I think, I've been told it's severe chemicals with the sun hitting the ice crystals in the clouds. In England, when
Very
they were
possible.
real, we used to call them, what were they? Fire dogs. But I didn't know back then as much as we do now. This is chemicals.
Right.
And you see it during the day. Needless to say, a sloppy chemtrail. What was that flight? The pilot, was he drunk? Look at the S kind of, usually there's straight lines, but this guy, he was out of it. And then at night, oh, look at the rainbow around the moon. I just want to slap him. That's not a rainbow, that's chemicals. We got to
Right.
stop this. So, yeah, I'm a little ticked off, but I survived. I didn't do any antibiotics. I didn't do any dark pharma drugs. I just bit the bullet, did a lot of C60 Evo, used my infrared pad, did a lot of humidifying and a lot of herbal remedies that were made by a flower herbalist around the corner, just potent as could be. And I got through it, but boy, it was a test. And every neighbor is sick still. Now, let's talk about the reason that Colorado sucks now is that we've got this governor, Mr. JP, who joins the WHO independent of the federal government. This allows
That's
him to declare
insane.
the thing style lockdowns again, independent of the US government.
You're
Like,
kidding.
no, we're going to be the only state that all of a sudden declares lockdowns. I'm getting out of here. So there's a war
That's
going on
so
between
sad.
the president and the globalists that want to destroy all of us,
That is just insane.
isn't it?
Yep.
And our governor is on the side of the globalists and couldn't care less about us. Who are his friends? Bill Gates, China, Germany, UK, Gavi, the people that make that thing in the arm, European Commission, more thing in the arm, Novo Nordisk, more thing in the arm. I'm being respectful.
Yeah, well, he is also a steal the vote, from 2020. Colorado is big time, and they're holding. I believe Tina Peters is still there. I think she's still in jail. I don't know.
Oh, she's got all the evidence. They don't want her out. And when
Right.
you see
So,
people
I mean,
saying,
he's definitely on the New World Order list, and I think that Trump and team will take him down eventually. Uh,
not
I
soon
will
enough.
tell you the real reason you're being targeted in such a way, meaning Colorado, is that the secret space program is very operational, both above ground and below ground. And you have a lot of incursions of ETs in various kinds of ships. So that is part of what the chemtrails are all about, is highlighting coming in from other dimensions, the craft. So I know this from my whistleblowers, and it's very obvious. So this is the problem. I even have somebody in Britain who thinks that they have taken all the poisons out of chemtrails, but I didn't believe them when they said it. And I can see by your skies, they haven't done it. We do have problems with chemtrails here too in California.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it doesn't look quite as bad as what you're showing me, but it's definitely a reality.
It makes it really hard for people that are healthy that want to go for a jog or for a long hike, unless they just don't know any better. And I watch them on the days when I won't go outside. The worst people that I feel sorry for are the babies being pushed in strollers when it's really
Oh,
dirty out,
right.
and people walking their dogs. They don't take their shoes off, they just bring it in the house. So consciousness is an inside job, and people have to choose it or not. Speaking of bad choices, our governor also chose this. Colorado Governor JP signed a bill, not thinking about it, signed a bill this week making Colorado a gender surgery sanctuary state where
Oh,
minors can
no.
come
Oh,
or
God.
be trafficked, and the state will protect them from their own parents. In other words, Colorado will refuse to return children who travel to that state or are trafficked here, and says it
Oh,
will even
God.
ignore court orders from the state of origin. In other words, blah blah is a maybe that. I don't know. I don't want to say it out loud. But the bill was sponsored by Colorado's first openly cross-dressing lawmaker, Representative Brianna Titwan, a Democrat. I did not make that name up. Brian has a nice, deep voice. This is written by somebody other than myself. But that's Brian Titwan in the yellow jacket with a button showing you where the first tit one is, and the other one's probably on the other side. I have a hard time here because we're seeing too many of these people. And I live in a town right near Boulder where there's a man in girls' clothing running for mayor this year. So, my kids left the state because the school is also full of that. So, our city council, our local politics, they don't care about the people. It's real sad, but I have a couple of solutions to recommend. This is my favorite. The thing in the arm should be tested on the politicians by the dozens. We need to give them dozens. And if it's safe, um, so they get it first. If they survive, the thing is safe. But if they don't, then the country is safe. Now, there's a solution.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
give them each
I've seen
six
that
and
one.
the boosters to back up. On the other hand, to be realistic, each and every one of us has to do our own remedies. And that's why I'm on your show because you take it, I take it. C60 Evo organic oil is not the same as any other products online that anybody else is selling unless it comes from our lab. The difference between industrial grade and pure ESS 60, it stands for elemental safe spheres with 60 carbon atoms. There you go. ESS 60 should be on the label right there. You want to look for that because if it doesn't say ESS 60, I can just about guarantee you it's from China and it's industrial grade, and most likely the oil is from Costco by the case. I know a couple of dealers nearby, and that's what they're selling. No matter what they say, if it's not ESS 60, our lab has been doing this 34 years. For the first 25 or 30, my partners were selling to research institutions only industrial grade for tires, ink, batteries, photocells, but not for people or pets. And it wasn't until 2012 when they did a study with our product, not anybody else's, and they used this exact mixture here, the C60 Evo olive oil formula, and they tested it on rats. And the rats actually lived 90% longer than the control group, which is historic. It's the longest longevity results in history. And for the first time, they died without tumors. Now, I can't say anything further, but we know what that means. It's preventative. It's not once you get something and it's been in you for a long time, we don't say that it's going to make a huge difference, but I take it daily to avoid those things as well as boost my immunity. Peer-reviewed study says our product is 125 times stronger than vitamin C as an antioxidant. Doesn't get much better than that. So I take it daily for obvious reasons, and I'm curious why you take it.
Oh, I go on my intuition, and I've had you guys on the show many times, so you also talk about the benefits and so on and so forth. So, I love C60 and I also, use it just I like all your, I put it in my hair and I also put it on my skin and I think it's wonderful. I could just feel that it's wonderful. So,
Good. It all you have to do is try it to feel the benefits because most people immediately notice more energy, flexibility. We don't get sick as much as most people, but the mental focus is the big piece. And for people like us that love to do research, that love to watch too many shows to get more knowledge, like you were saying, you count on other people so that you can combine it to deliver the information that you do. And the face serum, I started out just using this. And every time I'd finish with a spoon, I'd wipe it off the spoon. I'd wipe it off the lip of the bottle because it's not cheap. And I would rub it on my face. And after 50,000 miles riding a Harley with no windshield, I looked like I rode a Harley with no windshield. And I started putting it on my skin. And then I called the lab and said, this is changing my skin. We need to do a face serum. And the guys at the lab were like, yeah, that sounds great. We're a bunch of guys. And I said, no, I'm serious. Sure enough, they let me do a formula with a naturalist who's written all these books on raw foods. And we came up with this incredible formula, the C60 Evo Advanced Facial Serum. And now I've got buttery skin. My mom is almost 97 in May. She's got gorgeous skin. And the sad thing is she's outliving all of her friends. Her brain, she can still tell me something when I was 12 years old. I quiz her and she's like, yeah, his name was Conception and blah, blah, blah. I mean, she's just effortlessly together with her brain. And the reason is what this product does on a scientific level is it cleans the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of every cell. The brain has 2 million mitochondria per cell, whereas the rest of the body has 50 to 5,000, a lot less, but you're going to feel more flexible, more fluid, have more endurance and energy, but your brain is like, whoa, my brain fog's gone. I remember things. I can research way longer than before. And I think those are the main benefits that people notice, plus ultimately deeper sleep. So the olive oil isn't the only oil. I do want to recommend also we have three flavors on purpose because everybody's got different taste. But the olive oil is the strongest at 0.8 millimeters, uh, 8 milliliters per per spoonful of C60 Evo, whereas the MCT coconut oil has half as much. And then we have avocado oil, which has zero point 0.6 milligrams per milliliters. That's what it is. And the avocado is really delicious. Yes, you can cook with it, put it on a salad, but you don't really want to waste it. So when nobody's looking, you want to pick up your plate and lick it clean so that you get up all the oil. I personally just use a spoon. It's a whole lot easier and doesn't make quite the mess. And for people that don't love the taste of oil, we have the capsules. And you can travel with them. They won't take them out of your carry-on luggage, whereas they will take maybe a 4-ounce bottle. So for people that travel or want to carry them with, you take the capsules in a baggie or in the bottle. They won't take it out of your luggage. And we don't leave out the fact that animals really benefit. So we took the organic olive oil, which is great for pets, and we added a little bacon flavor for dogs and a little salmon flavor for cats. And we are getting tear-jerking testimonials about, I thought I was going to have to put my dog to sleep. 2 years later, he's doing great. I just inherited my daughter's 18-year-old cat because they took off in an RV to get out of Colorado and get away from all this pedo nonsense. Yeah, we're really dealing with it here. And we've got to make conscious choices. I am untrickable because I take this product, and most of the people that I know are pretty untrickable because we're awake. You know, we don't fall asleep halfway through the day that maybe a lot of people do that don't have a good remedy. It's all natural. It's 2 ingredients. It's so easy. You take it on a spoon before noon. Bingo. I don't take my 10 supplements like I used to for decades. I have a bunch of them on the counter. Once in a while, I'll run my pendulum over 10 bottles and take a few, but every day it's the Evo. And I have this energy all the way up until 8 or 9, and then I'm just like a tree. Shh, done.
Yeah, it's great. I take it in the morning, but if think I'm getting tired or something during the day, then I'll take some.
Right.
So,
I took a spoonful before the last show, and I remembered to swish it through my teeth, which is another really good idea. My receding gums are no longer receding.
okay,
So I'm not allowed to say it's going to do that for anybody else, but boy, it sure worked for me. And
that's great.
if I repeated all the Google reviews that I just went through this week, it was tear jerking. Again, people are making claims that they have been suffering from things for decades. 2 weeks of Evo, hands stop shaking. He's finally sleeping. People are walking again. I went through 2 hip replacements 2 years ago. Nobody even knew. I don't know how I got through it so easily other than I take Evo. And I take a good amount of it. But before and after my surgery, the doctors were like, no, 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 you're gonna, need to do all these things. And after the surgery, I was like, when does the pain wear off, the numbing? And he said 2 hours after surgery, you're 4 days. And I was like, I still don't hurt. How's that possible? I know you did a lot and stuck a huge thing in. Like, how could I not hurt? And he said, well, once in a while we hear that. When I had the second hip done 9 weeks later, I called him again and I said, what did you do? I have no pain. And they said, you're the first. And I was like, dang, I really want to give you a sample, but they're surgeons. They need to sell surgeries rather than sell remedies. But I made it 2 extra years longer than I should have on bone hips. And it was because I was taking this remedy that really lubricates the joints of this old Mercedes. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. That was a great presentation, and I think people will enjoy it. So any last minute statements or, what's your website, that sort of thing?
Oh God, totally forgot about that. We are C60Evo.com, EVO like evolution, /Carrie Cassidy. And if you go to her landing page, you're going to see discounts and specials, which you won't see on the website. So you definitely want to go to her link. She's got a special code. And if you use that at checkout, you will get another discount. So there's a nice lineup of our products. And a lot of men have said, I want the dog formula with the bacon essence. I'm like, Fine, buy it," because it's basically just the olive oil and it
Oh,
tastes
gosh.
better. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, we won't judge you. And we've got a hair serum and a face serum that has 2 bottles each, and they are 2 bottles because one of them is peptides. So we've kind of upgraded some of our serums to include peptides for people that want to go that way, or the basic advanced facial serum, which is all natural. So there's choices, and there's 3 oils and the capsules, but needless to say, you will love how you feel. And if you sign up for a monthly subscription for any of the products or any of the collection sets, you'll save 15%. So I recommend, 20% for subscriptions. 15% is for sets. So if you start to pile up the different discounts, you're going to save a lot of money. And don't forget to use Carrie's code at checkout for another discount when you get there. So C60EVO.com /Carrie Cassidy. You also saw that we have lip balms. Once I got my partners on the face serum and they lost the fight, they all started wearing it. And now they have beautiful skin, and their wives are like, well, bring me home some of that. So, yeah, men, women, it doesn't matter, and everyone in between. I live in Boulder. So, yeah, everybody's pretty much in between here. And yeah, I mean, can't fight it, join it. But our the guys at the lab totally surprised me again this week. Now we have a new packaging for our facial serum. Makes a beautiful gift. But you're going to love how it smells like rosemary. And it's the only facial serum I've ever heard of because we did it with Brigitte Mars, an herbalist. It's got a base of chia seed oil rather than things you can't pronounce because they're chemicals. Chia seed oil finished with rosemary oil. It's just so lovely. And you're going to have better skin.
Excellent. Okay. I wanted you to talk just briefly about the tangerine. Isn't it called tangerine lotion?
Yes, I have my bucket over there because we have been sold out for 3.5 months. My partners again were like, body cream. And I said, oh yeah. And so the first sample arrived from my formulator, and I was like, oh, no. And unfortunately, we're a real lab, so we had to wait 4.5 more months of testing. And they're like, you don't want to have it for Christmas? And I'm like, no. So I've sent it back to the formulator and I said, tangerine and citrus. I want it to smell so good that when you open it, every time you roll
Rich
your eyes.
guts.
And so I
Yeah.
waited 4.5 more months, missed last Christmas, and we came up with the most delicious body cream. And it's called C60 Evo Rich Body Cream with tangerine and ESS 60. It smells. Why don't you tell me? Because you've had to
It's
wait.
fabulous. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I use
Well,
it all the time. I put it on my feet because sometimes I get targeted by magnetics, and also I earth sensitive. So if I put the lotion on this with the C60, it helps me handle it because I have very sensitive feet.
Ah, well, I just saw a video about grounding sheets because
Oh
I don't want
yeah.
to go barefoot outside with all the dumping, but I think grounding sheets might be a great solution. I kind of
Okay.
like it. And I also have one more upgrade to recommend to people. If you read about toilet paper, all the wonderful, soft, squishy stuff is full of crap. So I buy
Um,
bamboo toilet paper, and it makes a big difference for women that are sensitive or men that whatever. It really makes a difference when you're having something natural rather than full of chemicals. So, start with the Evo every day. You're going to want to get this in your body to build your mitochondria, clear it out, and send it out, the toxins right out your system. And then do all these other things to eat better, drink more carefully. Don't buy the carbonated canned drinks, or you're going to
oh
be
God.
taking in a lot of things. I've been fighting with my family for a while to stop buying anything in an aluminum can. But, just you got to read it somewhere else other than from mom. So yeah, I'm reading it plenty places, and I'm doing it for myself. Again, we are an inside job, and for that reason, I will brag that I do have a big bottle that I dig in from. This is the 32 ounce. It's as big as my head, but for the guys that want to go hard and heavy or share it at the office or with everybody at the lab, 32-ounce bottle. And starting this week, all of our edible oils come in glass bottles. So everything's been upgraded, and we
That's
are the
good.
only lab you want to look for ESS 60, not C60. And there's some funny ones that are for sale, and I just screenshot it and sent it to my partners. Their favorite is supercharged C60. One of them is charcoal, no C60, and the other one is nano onions, not C60. So just be careful. There's a lot of people thinking that they can copy the things we say and make the claims 90% life extension, but if it's not ESS 60, it's not going to give you those benefits. So be mindful, take good care of yourself, love yourself up, and get on this product if you can. When people say, you've got all these things, where should I start? What's the best that you recommend that I'm going to want again? This is the easy choice. The edible olive oil, the advanced facial serum, all natural. You're going to notice a difference in your skin and your energy real quickly. And I
Excellent.
promised to get you the bucket. I didn't bring it over. It's sitting over there, which is scrapings left. I'm just like the last little bits because we've been sold out for 3.5 months, but it's coming in guaranteed at the end of this week. And you're already on the list. You're number one, I think. I've made sure because it's been weeks you've been asking. And a couple of my influencers, their wives are like, you got to get me some body cream. And I didn't mention it on the show because until we have it again,
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
But next
Okay.
time, I
Well,
promise.
great.
And your feet will be happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank
Okay,
you.
well, that's great, Patty. You did a good job, and it's great to have you here. So we'll revisit this sometime in the future. And thank you again for coming on the show. All my products are, that I'm backing, that I take every one of them, and I talk to the CEOs, the scientists, and interview them. So you can also search for the interviews on my website. But anyway, I just want to say that these are vetted products, and they're all on my website, projectcamelotportal.com. And I have some people saying, you've got to tell people about your Rumble channel. You've got to tell people about your YouTube. I have a new YouTube channel that we're trying to hope that it's going to stay alive. And we have a certain number of videos. They gave it back to us after many years. So we've got a few little YouTube channels. They never will give back my one with thousands of videos on there. So they give me 13 videos back. But I'm hiring somebody to put all my videos on there as well. So if you go to my website, projectcamelotportal.com, and you click up at the top, you'll see all my social media, and you'll see the link to my Rumble channel and the link to my YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel, and so on. So please do, also there's a huge red donate button. We actually are in need of money to keep us going. I guess these are hard times for everyone. So, and we're no exception. So thank you very much, Patty, for being here and bringing
Thank
your
you.
wonderful products.
Thank you. And I agree, Rumble is the way of the future. YouTube and Faceplant are the way of the past.
Right.
They're hiding
But
everything
we try
so
to
much.
cover all the bases. We've been away from YouTube for many years. I was banned in 2021.
There's a
So,
lot of banning and it just needs to stop. And that's why I say the thing in the arm. I mean, I really just try and
oh
cover
no,
our bases to respect the suppression, but I think things are getting a lot better and I'm looking forward
hope
to
so.
the immediate future.
Excellent. Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
buddy.
everyone. And thank you, Patty. And
Thank
we're going to
you.
put the credits on and let you go.
All right. Take
Okay.
care.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.